Hey everybody, I'm back in the kitchen today. I'm not actually in the kitchen, I'm at my kitchen table because I'm not going to be cooking today. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own vanilla extract. I love making my own vanilla extract simply because I can control what goes in it. And I tell you all the time, that's wonderful thing about being able to make your own things at home is that you control the ingredients, you control the process, and it's all about how you like to do it. What are the benefits of making your own? Well, other than knowing what's in it, it's cost. I'm going to tell you, this stuff is expensive. I bought a little bottle at Walmart of vanilla extract. It was $10 for, it was probably about 4 ounces. $10 for 4 ounces? Are you kidding? Costco's better. I got a big bottle, which was over, I think it was 16 ounces, so that's 2 cups. And it was around $22. So that's better. But still, that's awful expensive when you think of, I'm a baker and I use vanilla every day and I use a lot of it. And so it just makes sense to me to make it myself because an investment of, say, I don't know, $100. I can make a ton of vanilla for $100. And I know that sounds like a lot, but let me talk to you about it. These are vanilla beans. This is where your vanilla flavor comes from. What you're going to do is you're going to be soaking these beans in alcohol. Now, when I say alcohol, I don't mean rubbing alcohol. I mean, you go to the liquor store and you find the cheapest bottle of vodka that you can. Now, I'll show you what I've got. This is some that I have left from the last time I made vanilla. This big bottle cost me like $10, but I didn't have enough, so I went to the liquor store yesterday and I bought another one. This one was $11. So this bottle is going to make a bunch. One thing to be sure of when you are buying alcohol for your vanilla, you want the alcohol content to be at least 40 or 50. 50 is what I like to use, but I didn't see any at the store that was cheap enough for what I wanted to use it for. So this is a 40% alcohol per volume. So I'm okay with that. It's going to make great vanilla. It's going to taste wonderful. If you wanted to use bourbon, by all means use bourbon. I love bourbon vanilla. I actually have made some and it smells delightful. The only downside as I see it about making your own vanilla is it takes time. Now there are some folks who will tell you that you can make a jar of vanilla and it's ready to go in, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks. I don't go for that. 4 or 5 weeks, it's just getting started. I think for a good vanilla extract, it's got to go for about 6 months. That's when it really starts opening up and it's maturing and the aroma is just, you can tell it's right on the money. Now look, this is some that I have made. This is 6-month-old vanilla. It is in vodka and this is an 8-ounce bottle and I've got 5 beans in the bottle. And that's a good ratio. When you're making homemade vanilla, you'll want to use about 8 ounces of alcohol to 5 or 6 vanilla beans. That's just, I've read, and that's a good ratio according to lots of folks. But you can see how pretty and dark it's getting. Funny thing though, I made some last week. This is what I did last week, and it's already getting complete. It's just dark. Well, right now it's kind of an amber color. It's more golden, but when you hold them up, you can see that this one is darker, but this one's well on its way. I did use different kind of beans. Now this one is Mexican vanilla. This is Madagascar vanilla beans. And I can talk to you about the difference in the beans. It all boils down to they pretty much come from the same family of plants. It's an orchid, and the vanilla bean grows as, I guess it's the fruit of the orchid flower plant, whatever. And they collect them, they dry them, we make vanilla. And interestingly enough, most vanilla all started out in Mexico. And then, I don't know, 1800s or something, they started shipping it over to the West Indies or just far away. Madagascar, off the coast of Africa, those places where it has a temperate tropical climate. It's good for vanilla orchids to thrive and grow. And over time, They have developed their own particular aromas and flavor. Now, Mexican vanilla is a superior vanilla simply because it has a smoky undertone. I don't know if that means anything to you. It doesn't really mean anything to me either, but a lot of chefs will tell you that they love using the Mexican vanilla because it is deep and dark and smoky and delicious. The preferred and the most easily available is this one. This is Madagascar vanilla. It is grown on the island of Madagascar. The beans are a little bit bigger and they're plump and they're lovely. And the component that's in vanilla that makes it taste that wonderful creamy yumminess, it's vanillin. And that is simply a natural occurring compound. And Madagascar beans contain more vanillin than any other type of vanilla bean. So if you're making vanilla for the first time, Madagascar beans are readily available and it's a good quality product and you can't go wrong. I did purchase some of this. This is Tahitian vanilla and grown in Tahiti, I suppose, or in the area initially. But now I'm sure that it's grown wherever they grow vanilla. It's still superior. People love this stuff, and it is a little bit more expensive than the Madagascar or the Mexican. It has a light, airy, floral fragrance that you kind of smell it more than you taste the difference. It's, well, it's hard to describe. But Tahitian beans, they are top quality. It's wonderful. So basically, any kind of bean you can get your hands on, you're going to have great vanilla in the end, as long as you use enough alcohol and if you give it long enough time. Now, I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to show you right quick some of the jars that I use. These little bottles are perfect. And I love these little bottles because, let me show you this one. It has a rubber stopper. You want to make sure that your vanilla is submerged beneath that line of your alcohol. So the beans have to be completely submerged. Otherwise, microbes are going to sit up and make some nasty slime on the vanilla bean that's exposed out of alcohol. And you don't want that because then it's going to wreck your product. And then you have to throw it away. And, you know, that's just a waste of time and money. And who wants to do that? So I love these because this rubber stopper prohibits any kind of enzyme from getting in and messing with stuff or bacteria, and it's also non-reactive to the glass and to the alcohol. If you are familiar with canning, you'll know that if you can tomatoes and you're using a ball canning jar, sometimes if you open up a can of tomatoes, there's black stuff on the bottom. That's simply a chemical reaction between the acid in the tomato and the metal in the lid. When you use a rubber lid like this, a stopper, you totally take that out of the equation. You're not going to have that problem. You don't have to worry about it. And I'm all about not worrying about stuff. So that's the one step that I totally suggest you make. If you don't have access to these bottles, you can use a mason jar. See, this is a mason jar. I went on Amazon and I looked for these plastic lids. It's not lined with anything. It's just a plastic lid and it fits on this mason jar. This is a perfect thing for you to make your vanilla in. So there's really no need to use anything that has metal on it because there's so many products readily available for you to buy. And like I said, it is an investment, but it's a good investment. So with that being said, I'll show you easiest thing in the world. Now, like I said, for 8 ounces of alcohol, you're going to want to use 5 vanilla beans. Well, these are Mexican vanilla beans, and my friend gave them to me, and she cut them up. Well, I measured out some vanilla beans earlier, and that's about 5, or that's probably 6 cut up beans. And I'm going to do it the same up here, and this is going to be twice the amount because this is a bigger jar, and I can put more liquor in it. So, and honestly, I don't measure exactly. I eyeball it because it's all going to be good. So, I mean, if you're going to have your measuring cup over here doing it, well, bless your heart. That's not me. That's not how I roll. But anyway, so I'm just going to grab this, and I'm going to fill this up. Now, this is a pint, and I know that a pint has 16 ounces. There is going to be displacement happening from the beans. So the beans are going to take up some of your space. And that's all right. So you're probably going to end up with about 12 ounces of alcohol in this pint and 4 4 ounces of the beans. So let's go ahead and keep filling this up. And I'm going to go right up to the side here. Perfect. Look. Put this on. Give it a stir. I'm going to grab my pen. I'm going to write Mexican vanilla on the top. I'm going to put the date. And in 6 months, I'm going to go back to this vanilla. And it's going to be as nice and dark as this. And it's going to be wonderful. I'm so excited for you to learn how to do this. Every once in a while, if you feel the need, you can go get your vanilla. Now you want to store it in a cool, dark place that doesn't get any sunlight, because that inhibits the leaching out factor of all the wonderful taste inside the vanilla bean. It's best to do it in a dark place. And oh, you can see there's tons of the little seeds that have escaped. And I love that. I love to see the beans in stuff that I make. If I'm making a vanilla cake or something, and you can see the little flecks, it just makes me smile, because I know that that's real quality vanilla in my product. And I think my customers appreciate that as well. If you wanted to strain it out when you're finished leaching out the actual yummy goodness in the alcohol, then you could strain it through a cloth, a real fine mesh cloth. But why would you do that? Well, okay, if you wanted to have just a completely clear product, then you would. So anyway, so that is my Mexican vanilla, and I'm going to show you how to do this Madagascar one. Now I'm going to cut my bag open. They send it to you. I bought these on Amazon, and they send them to you in a little airtight bag. Well, that one is so stinking tight I can't open it. There we go. Oh, it smells good. Yes, it smells wonderful. Now, so I'm a little bit weird. I have a strange sniffer. Some things smell good to me, and some things smell a lot different to me, like a skunk smell. I don't particularly care for the smell of a skunk, but it's not completely horrible to me. I smell coffee sometimes when I smell a skunk. So when I smell these vanilla beans, I'm smelling floral, I'm smelling fruity, I'm smelling the tropics, but I also get a little whiff of urine, like maybe it smells like cat pee, kind of. And I know that doesn't make you want to run right out and buy some of this to make your own, but urea, that odor, it's common in a lot of products that you use every day. You'd be surprised to find out that a lot of your makeup has urea in it, which is a component of urine. So, surprise, surprise! Anyway, this vanilla is perfect. It's nice and moist. These beans are nice and fat, and we're going to put some in our jar. So, got my jar here. I'm going to get 6 beans out, because I'm going to put 6 per jar. 1, 2, and that's 6. Now, these are kind of tall, but they're just tall enough that I'm not going to have to slice them in half. But I am going to slice them open, and you just take the bean, hold it down with your finger, and put a sharp knife in it and run the length of that bean. And it opens up so that all the yummy seeds can get out. And that's all it takes. You just take it, cut all the way down. I don't even scoop the seeds out. I just cut it and smack it in the bottle, and it's good to go. Almost done. 3 more. Doesn't have to be a perfect cut, y'all. You just have to get the job done. Just use a sharp knife and lickety-split. You'll get her done. Boom, boom, boom. See? Okay, they're in there. I'm going to get my funnel because I can't aim very well. Pour my alcohol. Now, like I said, there's going to be some displacement. And this glass flask will hold exactly 8 ounces because I measured it earlier. You're not going to get exactly 8 ounces of alcohol in there. I think we're going to get about 6 because the beans take up some space. But you see, I have completely submerged the beans under the alcohol line, and that's what we want. Then you snap it, and I'm going to put Madagascar bean, and I'm going to put the date, and I'm going to let it sit. Y'all, it's simply that easy. 6 months time, this is going to be ready. It's going to be ready for me to use, or I can give it as gifts. You might consider that. People love homemade gifts. This item makes a perfect Christmas gift, birthday gift, any kind of gift for a person who's a foodie in your life, who loves the idea of using homemade products. They're going to look at you in a whole new light if you show up with a bottle of homemade vanilla. You can make your own little label to go on it, and you can say, I made this vanilla. Congratulations, I'm giving you a bottle. And you're going to be popular. So, y'all, that's it. It's that easy. Look at all this vanilla I've got. This one is made from, look how pretty that is, and that's just a week old. This one was made from beans from Costa Rica. Now, my friend James, he's down in Costa Rica, and he owns a coffee farm called Ant Hill Farms. He grows the most wonderful coffee there, and he roasts it himself and bags it and sells it. Brad is in love with it. That is what Brad drinks every morning. It's coffee from Ant Hill Farms, and I'm telling you, Google it, go to them. It's a wonderful, wonderful website. You can read all about the story. But when my friend went down to visit, it's her brother, James, she brought me back beans from Costa Rica. And I'm excited to see how this is going to come out in another 6 months. I'm very excited about the Costa Rican beans. But look, all this wonderfulness. I've got gifts to give. I've got plenty of vanilla for my baking needs. I mean, winter vanilla dinner, basically. Anyway, I hope you've learned something, and I hope that you experiment on your own. And remember, you can use rum. Bourbon, of course, is a wonderful thing to use. Let's see. This one is bourbon. I made it with just, I forget what kind of bourbon I used, but I'm going to make some more today, and I'm going to use Maker's Mark. Now, that's Brad's whiskey, and he don't know that I'm going to use some in my vanilla, so he can just not find out about it, but he's going to love what I make with the bourbon vanilla. But it smells so good. Now, the fragrance between the vanilla made with bourbon and made with vodka, the difference is not very, very, very apparent, but you definitely get the hint of that bourbon fragrance in the undertone. And if you've ever had a really good bourbon bottle, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very, very good stuff. So, like I said, make your own. Hit me up and let me know how it goes. I'm so excited to share this with you because it's so stinking easy. And I love to share ideas with you, and I hope that you send me some feedback and let me know what you think or what you thought about the process, or if you learned something, or if you think that I'm crazy and I need to get a life. It doesn't really matter. I love hearing from you regardless. I hope that you come visit me over at JamieTeachMeToCook.com. I'm going to have the blog post, and I'm going to have lots of photographs of the process. I'm also going to have the recipe written out for you so that, in case you can't make sense of my rambling, you'll have at least written down directions with some instructions that'll show you a surefire way to make wonderful vanilla every time. And I guess that's about it. I'm going to finish up here, y'all, but I won't make you watch it. But I do hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and go make vanilla. Bye, y'all.